G'day fellas and welcome to game number 3 in the series between MarineLord and Kasva. Spawning in on the east side of the map in the color blue, playing as the French, his favorite civilization, representing Izzy Esports, it's MarineLord. And on the south side of the map, playing in the color red, as the English, representing the Istanbul Wildcats, it's Kasva. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this third game in the series. We are here, we made it to the decider. And now the question is, what direction do these players go? Kasva, obviously a notoriously good player. And even though MarineLord, he seems like the kind of guy that you couldn't falter when it comes to any of these games. He's always able to, he's incredibly solid, but Kasva's the kind of guy who's always just going to eke something out from you, especially in these best of threes, because that's what this is. It's a best of 3, and you never know which way it's going to go. At the end of the day, these guys might play 100 games, and MarineLord might win 80 of them. But the reality is, if Kasva, he gets 2 of these games now in those 20, well, he's in a really good position. So let's talk a little bit about this matchup. French versus English. A bit of a classic matchup. Something that we love to see. Something that we've seen a long time. I remember casting Don Artie games, playing as the English up against the French. And everyone initially, the thought was, well, the French counters the English because the French open with this school of cavalry, and the English, they want to go for longbow, so it just naturally counters them. But then people started working it out, the meta started developing, and then it started looking better for the English, and people got more comfortable with them. But now, I think it's in a bit of a state of pretty decent balance. I'm curious what direction it's going to go, whether we see 3 TCs out from Kasva today, whether we see a tower rush out of Kasva today. Who knows what we're going to see, but I'm confident that the outcome is going to be absolutely solid. Over on MarineLord's side of the map, though, playing as that French, we might actually, you know what, I'm just thinking, we probably should have switched these guys around, so I do apologize to you guys. We will do that now. I'll switch them over for you. The scoreboard's going to be a little bit different, so if you're watching this on YouTube, or I guess if you're watching this on Twitch as well, I do apologize. If you come halfway through, maybe you stepped away from the computer and you're just coming back and you're looking at the scoreboard like MarineLord won, but MarineLord's on the right side. Anyway, I know my OCD would be triggered by it. Hopefully yours isn't, though. All right, well, age up looking like it's about to come through now for Kasva. He's got plenty of villagers down here. I always get a little bit confused when I see the players on the opposite sides, but going with a very safe council hall, definitely the right decision. I'm a big fan of these types of council halls. And now the question is, where does he go from here? Interestingly, brought the gold villagers in. So if he was going to be playing a more feudal-orientated approach, I would suspect he'd be leaving these villagers out here, typically for the upgrades. But he brings them in, which makes me think it could be something more orientated around the castle age, or potentially around additional town centers. So we'll have to wait and see how he plays it out. On the opposite side of the map, though, MarineLord, he's got a single villager out here on the berry bush, so expect to see wheelbarrow coming through shortly. Sticking with the good old classic, the old faithful, and we see now villagers moving across from the gold mine over into the direction of the wood line. Interestingly, doesn't go for the stone outcropping, so it could be one town center coming out from both of these guys. Now, interestingly, we do also have a single scout opening from both players, as well as their scouts begin to cross and call out to each other. Go on, English scout. I know you love to do it. Do it. Do it. They didn't do it. He didn't do it. Stradora! No, I'm just kidding. She doesn't. Actually, if we run on board with the French one, I think she yells out a familiar name. Beastie! Anyway. Looks like we've got a barracks coming up now, so barracks going to be indicative of some, at the very least, some early defense. Remember that the barracks is going to be key here in defending against any potential raids. We do have a mill coming up as well, so it looks like it could be farms because there's still no villagers here on the gold. I have to watch and see what Kasva's got up his sleeve because it's definitely looking a little bit weird. Checking in over on MarineLord as the age up is about to come through. We can see the school of cavalry with 4 villagers on it, and we've got the wheelbarrow coming through, but still no sign at this point in time that we're going to have any kind of expansions out from these guys. No stone being collected. Now, I will note that MarineLord's got quite a lot of villagers here on wood, so there's always the option to kind of keep this hidden, because he's going to be knowing that Kasva is watching. He's got his all-seeing eye over here, and he wants to give as little information over to Kasva as possible. Kasva on the English needs to know, is there going to be a second town center? Is there not going to be a second town center? MarineLord wants to keep that hidden. And so if he gathers up all of that wood first, never mind, he's dropping down the archery range. So that answers that question. So it's going to be a very, very aggressive feudal. That's what that indicates. We'll check in now over on the other side of the map, though, and see how Kasva's doing. And we can already see he's got units in production. So opening up with a spearman, opening up with plenty of longbows, and moving now out towards the enemy side of the map. It's going to be, typically in this matchup, what you can expect to see is horsemen as well as archers. And indeed, it's going to be horsemen coming out here from MarineLord. So hoping to see a bit of a clinic today from MarineLord to see exactly how he plays this, because this is a matchup that, as I mentioned earlier, it's quite common. And hopefully we can pick up some stuff from him and watch how he plays it out now as the longbows are making their way out across the map. We can see that he's not actually pushing out too far. He's got the scout just hovering. He's waiting to see where those units are, but not really in the best spot. I guess he can always sit up here. By the way, this map is called Gorge. And I suspect because the players have left it to last, that means that they kind of favor it. We did see this map coming out in the last series as well. So obviously maps that are sort of being picked or are being left until last, that means that they're not being banned. I guess balanced maps that people like to play. So great job to the Red Bull Wallalol guys for making a map that's actually pretty decent. I guess, you know, a lot of people were critical of the Red Bull Wallalol maps, but this one actually seems pretty darn good. Gorge, not a bad map at all. Mill's now starting to come up around the town center for Kasva. We don't see any stone collected by either player at this point, so still no sign of that second town center, and you can really see the difference in the meta. You know, if this was on the last patch, if we weren't on the pup here and we were on the last patch, you would have expected to have seen a second town center out for both of these guys by now. 100%. No two ways about it. You would have seen maybe an early knight or something like that from our French player looking to harass the gold or the stone or something like that. But look, realistically, you would almost 100% have that second town center coming down, but it's not the case today. And now going for a stone mine. So a very, very delayed stone mine, but we do see that this does get picked up. MarineLord is aware that this gets picked up as well as he was chasing that scout down. He's going to be able to see the scout now as it comes through. He's going to be looking to try and take it out. Not going to have a whole lot of luck here because the spearmen are going to be nearby and begin to push up towards his position. Now managing to hold that one on a little bit longer. We'll ride back on board and check and see whether Kasva's got any ideas about his second town center. Doesn't seem like it. Beautiful macro from Kasva as well. All the resources down really, really low. Now beginning to push out MarineLord on the defensive here. It's rare to see the French player not have the agency in these matchups, but indeed in this matchup it is the English that are going to be opening with it. Now MarineLord looking to try and pick off a couple of longbows here. Let's see how good Kasva is on the switch. You can see the archers coming in as well. Spearmen just running for their lives, leaving their brethren to die. Got to be so careful here. And now doing a pretty decent job of the micro. Look at the beautiful micro coming out from MarineLord, just running rings around Kasva right now. Beautifully done. Absolutely immaculate stuff. And now the horsemen continuing to look for these longbows. Just beautiful micro out of MarineLord as he picks off all of these individual spears. Beautiful stuff. And keep in mind, micro is so important when it comes to these early game situations because of the counter system, the way it works in Age of Empires 4. Light melee infantry have an extra damage against them. That is the spearmen. All of the units have gone down for Kasva. MarineLord in a pretty solid position here at this early stage. Keep in mind, he's also thinking about expansion behind this. So Kasva's throwing all of his resources into this push. He's throwing 100% of his resources into military. Obviously, you know, the caveat being that he's making villages. Yes, of course he's making villages, but you need to consider the fact that all of the resources other than the ones he's putting into villas are going into military right now. Whereas MarineLord, those resources, he's stacking up for a second town center, and he's still able to overcome what his enemy's throwing at him, just simply because of the civ difference. No, I'm just kidding. It's the micro. But look, if you're playing in your online matches, it's definitely the civ difference. It is definitely the civ difference. All right. Well, for the moment, MarineLord looking pretty solid. That town center going to be coming through shortly. The question is going to be where it goes down. Good little spot here behind the town center. Could look for somewhere a bit further away. There it goes. So town center going to be coming down right on top of the hunt here. So no real surprises there. That is normally the best spot to go for these second town centers. Typically, you want it on top of the hunts just because the town center, it acts as a big mill. And that means that you've got a lot less walking distance when you're going for these types of these openings. But we do now see a little bit of a counterattack on the other side of the map. It looks like a horseman is going to be going down. So manages to pick that one up. Still 0 villagers killed throughout this game so far. We can see MarineLord's already killed quite a few more units than his enemy. More than 400 resources difference between those two. So you can really start to see the difference in the micro, and that's going to start adding up. Remember, if that's 400 resources that weren't killed, that's the equivalent of 5 archers that MarineLord maintains, because these guys cost, I think, 80 resources. I'd have to double check that. I think it's 30-50. So 80 times 5, 400. That's your 400 resources right there. So it is a huge difference. But now, looks like Kasva's still going to be on the defensive. Now, keep in mind, Kasva knows about the second town center. So the question is, what is the response to it? And it looks like it's going to be a castle age play. At least that's what it looks like. Still not 100% on that one. He is adding in more farms underneath the town center. And he's gone with a beautiful little formation. Not quite doing the vortex, but does fit 10 farms in underneath this single mill. So beautiful spot there. Still yet to pick up his wheelbarrow, though. So Kasva, I'd be advocating for a wheelbarrow sooner than I'd be advocating for fertilization, or rather horticulture. But still holding on for the moment. Now MarineLord starting to wall up on his side of the map, and You know, this was something that I talked about in the last time we saw this map, was that it's quite easy to wall this up. So I guess if there was one change I would make as the map maker for this map, I would be saying, okay, if possible, can we avoid having these smaller forests spawn near this? Let's make the small forest spawn on the edge of the map or something like that, so the players have still got access to their wood in the late game, but that they're not able to use it as part of their walls, because it makes it much easier to wall this off. That would be my suggestion. All right. Oh, we're right on board with MarineLord. Check in with him. And now adding in a stable. So there's a couple of options that he can be going for here, but it looks like it's just going to be going to Castle Age. And I suspect he senses that Kasva's going to be doing the same thing. Over on Kasva's side, still yet to get through Wheelbarrow, but is going to be dropping down a second stable here. So moving into what is pretty much considered a standard play here. So Knights in the second age, or in the third age for the English. It just feels very natural. They're quite strong on the defensive, difficult to take out. And he'll be dropping down a monastery as soon as he gets up as well. Now actually spotting out the villager moving out to wall here. This could help him out. Let's see if he looks to push out on this. He doesn't have a whole lot of units, so probably unlikely. MarineLord being so aggressive. Look at the positioning of MarineLord. I guess realistically, he knows he's up against an infantry composition, so there's not a lot that he can lose to. Worst case scenario, he just walks away. He's got the scout here with his army, so he's able to be out here on the map. He knows that he's not going to be losing it, but he did spot the stables, though, so it could mean that there are horsemen on the way. But now looking to clean up wolves out on this edge of the map. I don't know if this is intentional, but if it is, that is beautiful stuff. Kasva now reaching up to the castle age as well. So we do see that village lead is 49 at the moment. And keep in mind, the French will maintain their villager lead. Kasva will slowly... I mean, I say he will gain on him, but he won't. He will never gain on the French player, because the French player's got 2 town centers. But remember, those French villagers are going to be training faster. 18 seconds for a villager compared to the English, who take 20 seconds. So that's where the difference comes in. Still here, technically 2 TCs. But this is part of the reason why in this matchup, English love to go for that 3rd TC, because then it puts the burden back on the on the French player to build a 3rd town center themselves. And typically they want to avoid doing that. All right, we'll scout the Caped Crusader, scouting out now for the moment from this east side of the map. He looks to try and find a way through, but unfortunately he's run into a little bit of a problem, and that is the enemy horsemen that are coming out. We start seeing the upgrades. It's going to be the Royal Institute coming through from MarineLord. So something that was very, very popular in the last patch. And look at this, beautiful little walls coming through right at the last second. MarineLord now going to be able to pick up this scout. We'll take a look and see what upgrades he looks to go for, whether he opts for any. At the moment, he's only got 12 villagers on gold and not a whole lot of gold in the bag. We'll switch it over to the income tab so you guys can get a better idea of where these guys are at. But the walls are completed. Across the map, MarineLord has secured his position. He knows he's in a solid spot, but he wants to avoid playing the late game. Typically in this matchup, the French doesn't do particularly well once you start thinking about those 30-minute, 40-minute games. And as a consequence, it means that you'd want to avoid them at all costs. So I suspect MarineLord probably going to be looking for a timing window, maybe around that 20, 25-minute marker. Just because if English does make it to Imperial, it's going to get really, really hard. And how is he getting these units through? Is there a hole in the wall somewhere? There must be a hole in the wall somewhere. He's getting these knights through somehow. MarineLord's going to be scratching his head, wondering what the heck? How are these knights getting through? And now more knights coming in. That's going to be the 3rd villager that goes down. 4th villager going to be dropping down as well, and he's now pushing at the middle. Villager moving out over onto the enemy side of the map, and Kasva all of a sudden looking to try and even up that villager count. Only 6 difference between the 2 now. Beautiful job with those knights. Looks like the hole. Oh, the hole! He found the hole! Look at the hole! Oh, it doesn't even look like a hole. Look at it. Oh, my lord. It's just a little bit of hair that looks like it's from the pubic region, just barely covering it. Oh, my lord. That is a feels bad moment right there. Your enemy gets through. He didn't check it. He didn't check it. Oh, my lord. Arbitrators are now going to be coming out. These guys will be able to defend this position pretty well. Oh, my lord. Oh, you just hate to see that. And look, it's tough to stop that from happening. So, you know, if the map makers are watching this, just know, look, it's okay. It happens to all of us. There's always a little bit left over there. But nice little raid attempt once again. Trying to distract is actually going to buy up some idle time here, so definitely not terrible. And now at the same time working down towards the south side. Military count relatively even. I say relatively even. These guys are... Good night, bye. Good night, guys. We'll ride on board with Kasva, though, see how he's doing as he begins pushing out on the enemy side of the map. Interestingly, okay, I was going to say interestingly, we don't see a monastery coming out yet. Well, there's the monastery. MarineLord did actually leave him a wall. I guess if he went any closer, it would have been probably too close to the enemy base. But it didn't stop him from breaking through the walls. Now moving out. Wait, is he? No way. Where is he going with this? Oh, okay. I thought he was going over towards these relics. In which case, mad respect. Marine Lord now looking to do the same thing. You can see he's rallied down towards this position, but still yet to have the first of the monks come out. The outpost's going to be coming down. We hear that relic getting picked up on the opposite side of the map. Kasva adding in a second monk now. A little bit of a stalemate now in the middle, but I suspect this game will go longer, and the likelihood that Kasva wins this is increasing in my books. I mean, at the moment, the score obviously between these two players 1-1. Kasva's won a game, Marine Lord's won a game, but it's starting to look better for Kasva, because if Marine Lord really wants to wall this up, if he wants to play this way, it's going to get really hard for him. So he's got to start thinking about what his win condition is, because I'll be real with you guys, unless he really looks to win in the next 5 to 10 minutes, it's going to be incredibly difficult for him to actually win this game. Now, obviously, Marine Lord, an incredibly good late game player as well, so I guess that's always something to consider, even though there is a bit of a civ difference, a civ imbalance in the late game. If I was going to give a tier list rating to these civilizations for late game, English, S tier. Whereas the French would probably be C tier, maybe even D tier. One of the worst civs, and he still hasn't fixed this hole in the wall. So a little bit of an undercover attack, and now heading up towards his gold mine in the north. Beautiful little spot. We hear the stampeding feet. An arbaletier as well as the archers moving up towards the north. I don't think he's picked up the veteran archers yet. No, he hasn't, which indicates he's not too keen on going for it. But now Marine Lord not going to be paying attention. He's under attack at other areas of the map. Does fortunately pick that one up. Getting attacked by that scout. Relic is down here still. Raid going to get under attack, and look at this, just Kasva all over him right now. Kasva looking incredible. Villager count starting to drop as well. He's continuing to take them out. Looks like the knights have run past the villagers that were on the gold mine, but he's going to head back towards the woodline. Woodline villagers do evacuate the dance floor. Now all these knights going to get picked up. So this is what Marine Lord needs. This is how he builds that lead, and how he keeps that lead as well. So what he needs to do here is pick up all of these raids, guarantee that his enemy is not getting anything from this, and the main thing that he needs to do is make sure that Kasva doesn't stall him out. If Kasva puts down a keep, if Kasva stone walls off the entire map, Marine Lord's not really going to have a way back into this game. He's going to have to play the late game, and if he plays the late game, well, you guys know exactly what happens there. Oh, he could have picked off a villager. Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, it was close. It wasn't close at all. He's long gone. It was a drive-by, and he didn't even bother firing shots. He was just waving out the window with his butt cheeks. But we do have walls now coming up on the other side of the map. We see arrow slits coming through on the tower that Marine Lord decided to make. Marine Lord looking solid. And now, okay, this is the timing window that we were talking about. So we can see Marine Lord now looking to pick up royal bloodlines as well as chivalry. So he's picking up all of the upgrades possible for the veteran royal knights. Still yet to see a whole lot of blacksmith upgrades coming through, but there is still a royal knight up, or rather a knight up towards the north side. Villagers moving out, and interestingly, fails to wall. Fool me once, shame on you. You fool me, shame on me? I don't even know. But he kills the vills that were building the walls. That's a feels bad man moment right there. He could have just, if he'd walled that in himself, then those vills would still be alive and he'd still be doing the whole thing. But now, not only that, the knights actually get through. Middle of the map though. That's what's going to be important right now. And now that very brave monk, he says, I come in peace. And he says, no, you come in pieces. And he absolutely gets shredded. Poor guy. Didn't stand a chance. Mass looking pretty solid here for Kasva. Keep in mind that Kasva's mass needs to be very, very relevant to... Hold on, just give me a short second. Everything okay? Guys, just give me a short moment here. All right, well, on the other side of the map at the moment, as Royal Bloodlines come in, another raid going to be touching down here for Marine Lord. Managing to take out, or at least appear to take out villagers. We can see he's only taken out 2 throughout this game, but relics on the other side of the map getting picked up, as well as sacred sites now in the north. Another raid coming through. Kasva just being relentless with his raids throughout this game. Done a great job. And you can see he's only got 1 knight in the main army. A single knight in his main army. The rest of it, they've just been raiding. Speaking of raiding, look at this. Marine Lord trying to even things up a little bit. Villager count starting to climb back in his favor. 11 villagers difference at this point in time. 24 idle. Look at that. They're just appearing on that timeline. Really dishing out some crazy amounts of idle time there. Picks up that knight who was harassing him over towards the east, but the longer this game goes on, the better it looks for Kasva. That is my official position. Now, the one thing that I'm concerned about is that if these knights ever reach critical mass, it is going to be incredibly difficult to actually deal with them. When the critical mass happens and all of the spears are dead and the royal knights remain with their royal bloodlines, that's when it gets really difficult. And you can see him now coming through. And this all opened up because of a single hole that still hasn't been fixed. Villagers now going to be under attack on that gold mine. Kasva, got to be careful here. Another raid up towards the north. It looks like Spearman, fortunately, going to be able to pick it up. We see the mass in the middle of the map. Knight's going to be coming in. Looking to pick off that religious unit. Going to be losing his life. Wall's going to be coming down. But look at the spearman just looking to surround right now. Kasva bringing out a huge amount of units here. Things not looking good for MarineLord. He's done his best to try and delay his enemy. But at the same time, if they both make it to endgame, MarineLord's still going to be down that hill, playing as the French, compared to his enemy who's sitting on the English, one of the best civilizations for the late game. And we now see plenty of spears just constantly chasing it around. There's a herdable sheep in here as well. And now up towards the north, he's picked up the units. He's just following them around everywhere. He's got units, and at the same time, he's still got an insane mass on the front line, looking to try and hold it on a little bit longer. Looks like he's picked up, I think it was a villager, I'm not 100% sure. Brings the vills in, he's like, you know what? Everybody get on board here. We're all going to take part in this one. Kasva down 20 villagers at the moment. MarineLord's done a great job running him around, but it looks like Kasva is slowly whittling him down. Things not looking good for MarineLord at this point in time. I'm starting to worry right now for the French man. Not only is he playing the French, he is French himself, so we can call him the double French man right now. Sacred site captured up. Moving out to the second sacred site on the south side of the map. That's a lot of S's right there. But that's exactly how we do it. Deletes the wall. He says, we don't need this wall anymore. And Kasva looks like he's going to go straight through it. Mangonel coming out. This is beautiful from MarineLord. The question is whether Kasva's going to see it. Kasva. Oh, my lord. That was... You're playing with fire right there, Kasva. Fortunately, only 4 units go down. Now, Kasva's immediate response to this needs to be a siege workshop. It needs to be like 12 villagers making a siege workshop somewhere on the backside. I don't know where it is, but it needs to be happening. He can't be playing infantry into that Mangonel. He can't. He needs to wait. Let the sacred site go, Kasva. Let it go. You need a siege workshop somewhere. Please, Kasva. Heed my warning, Kasva. Cinematic mode coming in. Kasva looking to not heed the warning. Mangonel shot goes off. It looks like it's going to be hitting spearmen for the most part. Kasva got to be careful in this position. Still down about 1,200 points, but we can hear the Mangonel firing off. Longbow's looking decent. Kasva. He's going to be so careful. He's toying. He's playing with fire right now as that Mangonel moves up. The Mangonel, watch out for the Mangonel. The Mangonel! Oh, looks like it hits about 3 of the longbows, taking them all out. Now look at the amount of spearmen just coming out right now. Huge amount of units, and he manages to save the sacred site. But unfortunately, the sacred site's already been taken out. And now looking to try and surround the enemy units. He's just picking off the Arbitria, but Kasva going to continue coming through. He's got to be careful. The Royal Knights move out away from this position. Spearman on the backside, looking to try and protect, but the Mangonel going to be able to fire out. It's not going down fast enough. The Springled is nowhere to be seen. Where is Kasva's Springled? He didn't make a single Springled, and now the consequences have been realized. MarineLord looking solid. The Royal Knights with their veteran upgrades and their Royal Bloodline upgrades, still damn solid. Mangonel, I don't know whether it went down. I think it may have gone down, not 100% sure, whether that's a second Mangonel coming in. But still, Kasva looking strong, and now we see the Pavis shield coming out here, looking to try and hold on in this frontal position, and we see Men-at-Arms coming out as well, of all things, against Arbitria and Knights. He makes Men-at-Arms. Kasva, you madman, you must have hit the wrong key. All right, we check back in over on the side of Kasva as he tries his best to hold on, bring that UI back in. Please tell me there's a siege workshop coming up somewhere. Please. Kasva, where is your siege workshop? Just make a siege workshop, start getting Springleds out. Kasva, what are you doing, Kasva? Come on. I'm coaching Kasva right now. Kasva, bring out your Springleds. Let your Springleds rain down upon the enemy. Wall finally coming up over here on this this western position. Trying to hold on a little bit longer. We can see the village. Oh my lord, look at the villager difference. What the heck happened to the villager count? MarineLord now sitting 40 villagers up over his enemy and also thinking about an Imperial age. Meanwhile, Kasva on 83 villagers. Where did they all go? He only lost 21 vills. Did Kasva just forget to press Q for a whole bunch of time? What is going on? And now that siege mass is getting too big to contest with. More Trebs coming through. Double Mangonels, double Springleds. Kasva still no... Oh, he's going Horseman. He's going Horseman. Kasva moving into more of a cavalry composition. He's at 150 population. The problem's going to be by the time he gets a decent enough mass of horsemen, he's not going to be able to deal with the elite units from his enemy because we know that MarineLord's going to go Imperial Age. He's got the resources for it in the bag right now. And now pushing out with the Men-at-Arms, we enter once again into the cinematic mode as the Spearmen look to hold on the front lines. Men-at-Arms moving forward, trying to surround the enemy. Mangonel shot comes off. Going to be hitting the Spearmen, not dishing out maximum damage, but that's all right. He'll take those trades. Continues falling back. MarineLord with the micro, trying his best. Still, we see the Knights roaming around. We hear attack sounds going on. It's probably villagers going down in the background as he tries his best to get a bit of a surround here. Attacking onto the Mangonel. He's running everything away, and now the Mangonel's going to be looking to unfire, unpack, and hitting the melee units at the front. And Kasva looking incredible now as he's decided to wake up. You have awoken a demon, MarineLord. Spend those resources, my friend. Don't you dare think about Imperial Age because Kasva is coming in and he means business. But hold on a minute, Drongo. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. It looks like the Mangonels still stand strong on the back line. Fires out a little bit wide, and there are no spearmen here. And the Knights are now going to be overcoming this position. Look at the Knights coming in from every side, the north, the east. They're coming in from all damn directions, and these guys are veteran. They've got their biology upgrade, their royal biology upgrade. This is difficult, and I think it might be a good game right here, because he's just going to be able to overrun him and start. He's going to stand on top of the production. He's also going to be going to Imperial Age behind this as well. Kasva, not the kind of guy to give up, though. Let's look to see exactly how he plays it out. He's down 60 population at the moment, 40 of which are villagers, 20 of which are military. 3 villagers trying to get a keep up. Good luck. Good luck, guys. Good luck. They're gonna need it. They're gonna need it. Oh man, I wish we'd seen like a little bit of a siege coming out from Kasva just in response. Maybe like a spring order or 2 or 10 would have been perfect. But now those raids continuing, he would have been able to plug that hole in the middle. But now the Knight's gonna be coming out as well. They've all got their little bit of a heal up, and now he's going to be spotting this one out. MarineLord going to be able to deny this. Plenty of units down here on the south side looking to try and defend once again, and these guys putting on an absolute show for us right now. Fall back from this position, MarineLord, don't you dare. He's trying to take out the Mangonel. He knows that that's the main issue, is that Mangonel. But still we see that the win condition coming for MarineLord is going to be those Knights. If he's able to keep the Knights alive and there's no spearmen, he wins the game. And Mangonel coming down. Oh, he goes a little bit wide once again. Kasva changing the direction of those units. Beautiful micro from him, and he holds on for the moment. He's only down, how many villages is this? 37, 38 villages at this point in time, so it's not a huge difference, but he is still down the economy, and MarineLord reaches the Imperial Age. We'll double check exactly which landmark he's opted with. It's going to be the College of Artillery, and we see Royal Cannons on the way. Elite upgrades are nowhere to be seen at the moment. Well, we hear a bit of market trading, so he's probably going to be thinking about getting through those elite Royal Knights, maybe elite Artillery. Sacred Site in the center now going to start getting captured up. It looks like the one down towards the south side did actually get neutralized as well. Horsemen making their way onto the backside. MarineLord's taking out 30 villagers. Amazing to think that this game started off with Kasva taking out 8 villages of his enemy and 0 from MarineLord, and then all of a sudden MarineLord flips the switch, and all of a sudden the tables have turned. More raids coming in on this gold mine on the south side. Nothing to keep villagers safe down there, and as a result, Kasva just avoiding it for the moment. He wants to try and hit that Imperial Age as well, but it's just so unlikely at this point in time. Monastery on the front side going to be going down, and with that, the trickle of gold also going to be lost. Keep in mind, that's 240 gold coming in for him there. And now the Knight numbers looking very heavy, very thick. Elite Horsemen going to be coming in, not Elite Knights, Elite Horsemen going to be the choice here for MarineLord. He's maxed out, 200 population. We hear him selling some food, so going to be looking for more elite upgrades, going for incendiary arrows. A beautiful upgrade here, and up towards the north, another raid coming in. He falls back away from the position in the main base. Spearmen looking to try and pick off a couple of units as well. Villagers, unfortunately, just not working the farms. Going to have to chill out for the moment. Still, those relics sit down on the ground as the new monastery gets dropped down. You can see MarineLord's now reach maximum population capacity as Kasva's sitting on 173. The longer this game goes on, the better it gets for Kasva, but he is still behind at the moment, sitting down about 4,000 score. Fighting like he's only down 400, though. Mangonel moving up. Mangonel looming for a shot. Still, we hear those raids up towards the north as the Horseman just runs around, getting free real estate. He'll take it. And now the push up in towards the middle. Bombard going to get taken out, or rather the Royal Cannon. And Kasva in the Castle Age looks to push up against his enemy who's got Elite Horsemen. Only Elite Horsemen. Trebuchet going to go down. Mangonel going to go down. Mangonel looks for a shot on the back line, doesn't find it. And now those Spearman numbers are looking very, very healthy for Kasva. More units running in, keep coming out. Great. Another Royal Cannon out for MarineLord. And a beautiful game coming in this third game. You couldn't ask for an absolutely better game. These guys are insane. It's amazing to me to see how great these guys are playing against each other. And now holding on for dear life, he continues pushing through up against the keep. He's got the men-at-arms here. Looks like Armor Chads also come through. Towards the north side, villagers evacuating the dance floor. Keeps gone up. At the same time, down towards the south side, we see raids coming through. More raids coming through from MarineLord, the absolute GOAT when it comes to those multitasking. And now the Knights, as well as the Elite Horsemen, looking to try and pinch out the enemy. Men-at-arms, as well as the Spearmen, looking to try and deal out damage. Royal Cannon firing off on the backside. Where are all the longbows? There's no longbows. There's just a handful of them. And now, despite being an age up, MarineLord, he's still not looking the best, but at the same time, the Royal Cannon just going to be whittling down the forces here. I think he might have him. He's got the Pavis shield coming out as well. The number's not looking the healthiest, but Kasva, he stands strong. If a good game does get called, and Kasva is going to be tapping out 2-1 here to MarineLord. What an absolute game coming out there from Kasva. Well played by MarineLord to pull that one. I can't believe it. I can't believe that he did that. That was insane. In this third game, what an absolute beauty, and what a great map coming out there as well, Gorge. You got to be honest, that is a beautiful map to witness. We'll check in with the military. We see MarineLorD's killed 318 units compared to Kasva on 145. Let's have a look at that village account. And MarineLord, he didn't forget to press Q. Kasva, unfortunately, forgetting to press Q and also losing quite a few villages along the way. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you've enjoyed this game. Next series that's coming up is going to be part of round 2. So we'll catch you then. Thank you so much for watching.